Foreign Minister's press conference will start. Over to you, Minister. I have no initial statement, and so the floor is open to questions. Please raise your hand and identify it, and please come to the closer microphone, come close to the nearby microphone. NHK. This is Iwasawa speaking. Now, my question is about Peru. The President Castillo was impeached by the Congress, and there was an opposition. And then on December 7th, there was the state of emergency declared. And some of the Japanese travelers are stranded. And what is the current status of those Japanese travelers? And whether the travel safety information level is going to be raised or not? That is my question.
On the 7th of December, at the Peruvian parliament, President Castillo was impeached. In order to protest that, there have been protests around the country, including vandalism and violence against public organizations. Based on this, Peruvian government issued state of emergency throughout the country, effective from the 15th of December over 30 days period. That is what I understand. Up until now, we have not received any confirmation regarding the lives damage and injury to those Japanese living there. However, airports and roads have been blocked, and there are people who are unable to move, as I understand it. Therefore, the Japanese embassy in Peru are now in contact with those who are having a difficulty in moving and asking the Peruvian authorities to ensure safety of these people. Regarding Japanese people who are staying in Peru, we are giving an alert, including spot information and consular emails. We are going to make sure that make sure safety of Japanese people there. Regarding the alert level increase, we will make appropriate decision depending on the development of the situation. Thank you. 共同通信、上田さん。上田共同通信。Regarding 3 security documents, today the government will have the cabinet approval of the documents, and the counter-strike capability will be clearly indicated, and security policy will be shifted. What is your understanding regarding Chinese military move? Unprecedented strategic challenge will be cited, and also threat word will be included in the document, and China has already protested.
Now, technology-related, missile technology-related development is ongoing with a higher speed, and the environment surrounding us, the country, has increased its intensity. And in order to save our life and the people's life, we have been engaged in strengthening, reviewing a counterattack capability. I do understand the reaction from China. With regard to the national security strategy, it has not been confirmed yet. So at this point in time, I would like to refrain from talking specifics about it. Sawai-san of TV Asahi. This is Sawai, TV Asahi. Related question. It is going to be confirmed with regard to the deterrence improvement. Cooperation with the like-minded countries are going to be mentioned. In addition to the U.S. and Japan security, it is going to be important to talk about this like-minded countries' collaboration. And one of the measures to be pursued by the government, international cooperation with the like-minded countries, was also pointed out. It is going to be separate from ODA, and for the purpose of increased deterrence, infrastructure as well as equipment supply is going to be promoted under this concept. What kind of a collaboration are you envisioning under this idea? And what kind of which countries do you specify like-minded countries? Would you please give us a definition? And are you going to provide a new form of assistance to Ukraine?
In the face of ever-challenging security environment surrounding Japan, we have to deter unilateral change of the status quo by force, particularly in Indo-Pacific Asia. We have to secure peace and stability and to create a security environment desirable for Japan. For that purpose, we have to fundamentally strengthen our own defense capability and increase deterrence of like-minded countries. In order to achieve this objective, separately from ODA aiming for socio-economic development of developing countries, we have to have a cooperation framework in order to respond to like-minded countries' security needs and provide equipment. And we have been discussing along this line. The new national security strategies, as I said earlier, have not been decided, so I would like to refrain from making specific comments on this. Now, like-minded country, that terminology, generally speaking, for certain diplomatic agenda, the countries with shared objectives are referred to as like-minded countries. Therefore, any country, including Ukraine, whether they can be considered as like-minded country, we make a case-by-case decision depending on diplomatic agenda from the viewpoint of whether that country shares the objectives with Japan. Gigi Tsushin Tanaka-san. Gigi Tanaka, your visit to China, I have a question. The earlier summit meeting, your visit will be coordinated. That was decided. According to some report, your visit will be materialized within this year. What is the status of coordination? Also, actually, if that plan is materialized, full-scale dialogue with China will be resumed. So what kind of things you want to discuss and confirm?
Well, with regard to my visit to China, at this point in time, nothing is determined. And in addition to that, at the previous summit meeting between Japan and China, there should be close communication to be promoted at every level, including the leaders level. And there is a request from the Chinese side for me to visit China. With regard to the scheduling, we are going to work on that. Abe-san, Yomiuri Shimbun. This is Abe, Yomiuri Shimbun. Now, I have a question about TPP. Who was in charge, Wendy Cutler, former USTR, the deputy representative in the Obama administration, and she announced a proposal with regard to the U.S. return and to CPTPP. Needless to say, Japan has been requesting for that. How do you react then to this proposal?
Well, for Japan, from the strategic perspective of engagement by the U.S. in the international order in Indo-Pacific, from that perspective, we have been communicating to the United States consistently that U.S. return to TPP is desirable. The experts' recommendation, I would like to refrain from commenting on each one of recommendation, but if such a recommendation will serve as an opportunity for U.S. to discuss within the U.S. Whether what kind of TPP it needs to rejoin, and if it leads to increase of momentum to rejoin the TPP, that would be desirable for Japan too. Sankei Shimbun, Hiroiwa-san. Hiroike, Sankei Shimbun. I have a question regarding ODA. The Ministry of Finance vis-a-vis Ministry of Foreign Affairs said that you have to review a total of 12.8 billion yen of grant aid to 19 countries which oppose to United Nations resolution to condemn Russia. What is the fact and what is your policy?
The press report you're referring to is related to November 29, 2022, the Fiscal Policy Council. At that meeting, there was a discussion about the strategic and effective use of ODA. And one of the discussion materials contained such information, is mine, according to my knowledge. And within with regard to such support, There is the humanitarian aid and through international organizations, and also grassroots aid to local NGOs. So those aid programs do not directly target each state governments alone. With regard to the grant aid, I think it is supposed to be determined based on the humanitarian situation and the significance of the diplomatic activities. Even there is going to be a opposition to the said resolution, it does not automatically mean that those countries are inappropriate for the grant aid. I think the world order is now is in a fluid situation. It is extremely important that we are going to leverage on the ADA for promoting diplomacy. And this concludes a press conference. Thank you very much.